mine is almost a follow-up to what he has mentioned in terms of risk. We are saying that if you're going to invest in anything real estate, then we need to look at long-term. So when I look at long-term, I'm thinking things are changing. The way of work is changing. Students are even now learning at home. So what if it gets to a point where we don't have students looking for accommodation anymore? What measures are in place to make sure it's not failing like the other REITs we have seen in the market that have failed? And when you say they are assets backed, this means that in case of anything, is the asset going to be sold so that you return the principal? And in that case, if there's no one to buy, what happens? Thanks.
Okay, so in terms of risks in the sense of students working from home, I think it's very good I mentioned. Right? These properties were there before COVID, right? So COVID to us was the biggest risk, but interestingly, they were still in high demand, right? So if you to actually go back and look at our results, right, in 2021, the annual return was 9.1%. This was a time we're coming out of COVID where in our minds we thought people will be working from home, but because we've built a community within Kwetu, the students were actually working within Kwetu instead of working from home, right? And another reason why this is such a prime asset is mostly because we looked at an investment style. Usually it's a thematic investment style whereby you leverage on research to look at technological, microeconomical, and basically future trends that will come up. So one, it's an asset that is well researched. So we've already seen through, especially with COVID, proving to us that these are the key things that are needed. So again, I will simply just go back and answer that question in the sense that, again, we've seen such a risk try to crystallize on the properties, but the properties still were able to weather that in the sense that we still had students, right? We have a very mixed, rather diverse students. We have international students. We have a key partnership with MasterCard, for example. So we basically sort of gone into partnerships whereby we've assured investors, or rather the fund managers and the property managers are ensuring the properties are always generating income. And now to answer your next question, if anything was to happen to the properties, yes, that is usually the case, whereby the assets will either be sold or another fund manager will continue investing in the assets. But again, it's an asset class that is poised for the future. It is well researched, definitely. So to be honest, it's very hard for you to lose cash the same way you easily lose money in other real estate investment trusts. And that's why we don't sell or rather push very high returns beyond what the market can actually pay or actually give you, right? If we were to wake up and tell you tomorrow the returns are 20%, please be very wary of what we are saying, because if you look at the news, it's very hard for real estate to generate that. So we like to be very fact-based and very honest with what the investment can give back as a return. I also always go back and say I will not compare with different investments or other different financial assets. It is up to you as an investor to identify the goal that you actually want to achieve before you actually start investing in REITs. Yeah, I hope I've answered your question.